Hello, it is Topical Tuesday, January 3rd. Is it January 3rd? Already the third day of the year, 2023. Steve Sipress here, and we are back to our usual gorgeous, sunshiny winter day. Here, probably temps around the 60s or so. Still a little cool for us here in the beautiful, sunny Scottsdale, Phoenix, Arizona area. But after a few days of rain, much needed. By the way, I remember last year that it was up until the monsoon, like around middle of June or July or so, we were still at about half an inch of rain for the entire year. And I think we passed that pretty much on the first day of this year, if not certainly for the first 2 days. And so, anyway, Topical Tuesday, not sort of, but tremendously on a down note. Those that know me know I haven't paid any attention to anything going on with the ridiculously, outrageously horrible corporation known as the National Football League for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years now. And however, I couldn't avoid hearing the news going around on social media, and so I checked into it that a player in Monday Night Football, which would be last night, collapsed on the field having some kind of a heart attack. And first of all, that's horrible. Those are, and I looked into it, this guy, and checked out a few of his video. I never heard of him, of course, but because I don't think he's played more than a few years since I stopped paying any attention to the thing, but seems like an unbelievably great guy, which I'm going to get choked up, but that makes it even, if it's possible, even more tragic. I mean, all humans have life, but this seemed to be just a phenomenally great guy, but playing a violent, dangerous sport where you never know. And of course, can't help that the NFL forced all the players pretty much to take this experimental drug over the last few years that is known to have one of the side effects is elevated chance of heart problems in young, strong, athletic, healthy men. And I know that I think there's over 1,000 athletes now around the world in the past few years that have collapsed on the field because of, we don't know what it's because of, but that's way elevated over before this latest experimental injection came along with its side effect of causing heart problems. So you hate to see that. It does bring to mind a business lesson, though. Take it on the negative side from the NFL. You don't want to force people to do something, right? I can help you with your advertising, marketing, and sales. I can help you how to do all kinds of manipulative things to get people to buy your product or service or become a patient or a client or a member or a customer or whatever it is of your business. And I just I hope you don't take what I teach and do that. I teach long-term success, not short-term. You want to avoid the mandates, the forcing, especially when things are unproven, untested, dangerous. Like, just what a shame. So, another lesson, by the way, isn't this the weren't all the people, weren't like high school coaches lose their job for praying on the field? And yet you saw everyone, at least the videos of the photos I saw, like all the players and coaches and trainers and whatever, are praying on the field. And then the family and the teams are all asking for prayers and whatever, so all the posturing and the wokeness and the virtue signaling and all the BS really goes out the window when real things happen. And so, another thing I was thinking, just slipped my mind here, but anyway. Another thing was people were remarking how, the two teams, the players were hugging together and as if they were not rivals. They're not rivals. What do you have to be a kid? I mean, when I was a kid, I thought the teams were rivals. Then I grew up and became an adult. The NFL is the NFL. It's one corporation. All the teams are working together. They all benefit from each other. I mean, obviously, wherever that game was, whichever city, the other team came in and made money in the opposing team city, off the ticket sales and the whatever. They share in the TV revenue and the souvenir revenue and the whatever. Like, it, it's not like you're a plumber and you could be the only plumber in town and survive. You can't be the only pro football team and survive. You probably need at least 8 to even have any kind of league at all. It has to be at least 8, as a collective. So in this case, I don't know how many NFL teams there are, 25, 30, 35 teams, whatever there are. People are like, oh, look at them getting together, even the opponents. They're not opponents, dude. They're in business together. So lots of lessons here. I put the saying on the top of my website for the All-Star Entrepreneur Mastermind that's coming up in less than 2 weeks now. The saying, it's an African proverb, if you want to go fast, go alone. You want to go far, go together. I might be paraphrasing, but that's the idea of the NFL and any sports league. They're not going alone. They're not opponents. They trade with each other. They participate in, they have to need one another to play games together. They participate in the draft together. They have their meetings, their summer meetings. The owners all get together with their meetings. The players are in a union. They get traded from one team to the other. Anyway, so collaboration beats competition is one lesson. Do not manipulate or force or mandate people to do something that might be harmful to them, or just don't do it, period. Even though no matter how much you think it's great, let people make the decision. I mean, you think your business or service it should be mandated. Oh, and I hear it all the time. Not joking about the experimental drug that has killed a whole bunch of people and is clearly, if it hasn't already, going to do a lot more damage than it's ever going to do any good. But you hear that all the time. Well, I do when I talk to clients about their product or service. Well, who is this good for? Well, anybody. Everybody ought to get my product. Everybody, you all think your product is the best and everyone should have it, and they're an idiot to not get it. And, it's crazy to not get it. Should be mandated, should be required. Everyone should have to have this. It's not how you want to do your advertising and marketing, though, right? I am, along with this experimental drug or any drugs, the persuasion school. Ethically persuade people. And I help people do that, to influence, to persuade, to sell, to market. Without marketing, there is no business. And so, but again, I'm hoping that you take a lesson here and you don't coerce, force, mandate people to do stuff. You convince them to transfer the belief that you have for how good your product or service is to other people. That's the key. I think it was Zig Ziglar, unless he took it from someone else. But I was a big Zig Ziglar fan back in my door-to-door sales days, and still am, even though he's passed on, and he is waiting to see us at the top. But Zig always said sales is the transference of enthusiasm. Again, he might have taken that from somebody else, but enthusiasm. Big difference from enthusiasm, transferring enthusiasm about your product or service to others, than seeing what was done by the government over the last few years, and lots of businesses, including the NFL and others, with these mandates and forcing people to inject experimental, dangerous drugs into their system. Anyway. Hopefully I don't even know his name, but hopefully this football player recovers. Seems like a fantastic guy, and just overall, it's just a tragedy and a shock that someone in the prime of their life in fantastic physical condition and with a family and doing so much good for others and for the community. I saw something that he's currently conducting a fundraising drive, Toys for Kids or something like. Hate to see someone like that cut down. So we're all wishing, praying, hoping for a complete 100% full recovery, and perhaps some thought on behalf of those who mandate and look to control and demand and require dangerous things be done by others. Hopefully we all learn a few lessons from that. Anyway, that'll do it for the first Topical Tuesday of the year, January 3rd, 2023. Thanks for being here today. I will catch you back here again tomorrow on World Wide Web Wednesday. Over now. Bye-bye.